Hello, entrepreneurs and potential entrepreneurs and people who just want to get themselves together. You know, we talk all things money on here. And one thing I want to encourage you, I talk to a lot of people and they always say, I start out at the beginning of the year, I'm getting myself together, and sometimes I fall off or whatever. One thing I want you to understand, any plan you make about money doesn't happen as soon as you make the plan. So let's just say you decide, you set a budget and you decide how much you're going to have and what you're going to put aside. It's going to take a couple of months before that all comes together. Most of the time, when you do a budget, you already have things in place and in play. So let's just say we're now in March and we're about to be in April tomorrow and you already have some things going, and so you say, look, I'm going to get a hold of my finances, and you make out a plan. That plan will take a couple of months before you finally see the results. You implement it, but you may forget about something that you have coming out of your account or something that you didn't know you were going to pay. There are so many different scenarios that can happen. And whenever those scenarios happen, it will throw off your plan. And all I'm telling you is do not get off, don't get discouraged. You may have fallen off the plan, but that's the thing about a budget and about a plan. It's not going to be airtight, it's not going to be where there's no gaps and there's no letdowns and there's no setbacks. But having a plan means that after you have a setback, if something throws you off, now you have an idea for how to get back on track. So you have it written, you're not going from here. Because think about it. How in the world can you manage everything you have going on in life and you never write it down? That's step number one. If you have any kind of financial goals, anything that you want to do in life, I know you've heard people talk about vision board. That's real. That's a real thing. Long before they gave it a name, that's the way I have always achieved anything. It can be something as minute as achieving a great wardrobe. I am a fashionista. I love fashion. I always have. And whenever I would look in my closet, my goal has always been to have a clothes for every occasion, for casual, super casual, athletic, you name it. And long before people talked about vision boards, that's the way I've always achieved things. I make a list out of everything. I mean, organized people do. If it's something I want to achieve, if it's a goal of mine, it's written down. Whether it's perfumes I want to acquire, purses, shoes, different things that I see that I cannot do right then, I write it down because there's no way I could hold everything here. And I'm telling you the same thing with life as it is and everything that you go through. If you are trying to hold everything in your head, you'll never get to where you want to go. It is impossible to do that. So you have to write things down. You have to clear your head so that your mind can be free. Once you write down your goal, you will be surprised as the way, and you have to revisit it after you write it. So the same thing with your budget. You make your budget and you revisit it. Many people ask me all the time about money and about budgets and everything. You don't just make the budget, you have to go back. So the minute the money hits your bank account or your hand, it's at that point that you go back and revisit your budget because you have to remind yourself why you are disciplining yourself. Notice I didn't say denying or sacrifice. Words are important, and a lot of times when we feel like we're missing something, it makes it harder for us to stay focused and achieve our goal. So when you go back and revisit the budget you've written, it will help you to remember why you are doing what you're doing. And so you want the budget and you want your goal. If you want your bank account to look a certain way, then you have to make sure that you line everything up for that bank account to look that way. So when you make a plan, do not get discouraged if it doesn't happen the next week or if the plan falls off, don't just say forget it and go out and say, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to go back and spend. I'll figure this out later. No, go back to the drawing plan, work the budget because it will work. It will just take a couple of months to get into effect. That's the way anything is. I don't care what it is. You've got to work it, and there will always be something that will come up that will make you want to stop. And that's when you push forward. That's when you kick in with Tenacity Tuesday. I don't care what day it really is. And you make yourself stick to it and you discipline yourself. When you learn to discipline yourself, the world is your oyster. It's been your girl, the Queen Bee of Doing Business Better, and we're just talking all things money because I want you to win. Bye bye.